this is more a private technical session, so I would appreciate if you come closer to me, because otherwise I have to say, hello, how are you? It's a narrow topic for a narrow audience. Thank you very much. So I feel less lonely when you are here. Maintenant, Philippe, tu peux mettre le... Yes, it's okay.
Right, so, good afternoon, everyone.
Tu veux un micro, quand même?
This is, can you hear? Yes, you can. Yeah, this is Philippe Quignot from ST. I'll have the challenging task of introducing Gabrièle Saucier. Not that she needs much introduction, I think, if some of you have been here for the various instances of this show, this event. So Gabrièle received a PhD from the University of Grenoble, where she was a professor. She headed a research lab on integrated system design. She published more than 350 papers in various fields like design and EDA. Dr. Saucier is an IEEE fellow for her contributions in synthesis, test generation, and fault tolerance. Leaving her university career in the 90s, she founded a synthesis company called IST, Innovative Synthesis Technologies, mainly dedicated to FPGA synthesis. And in 97, she founded Design and Reuse, dedicated to IP-based design. She has launched since then 2 successful conferences, EuroASIC and IP-SOC. Gabrièle?
Thank you. So as Philippe said, I come from the EDA world and I went to IP. This is certainly a relation, of course. When I started to work on IP, I had the impression that something was missing, because when you go to a conference on IP, you say, I do a design, I do a better design, a better technology. And I was intrigued by the infrastructure necessary to make this exchange. And of course, you know that design and reuse was founded around the website, so we are very looking how data are transferred, how people look at IP, what do they know, and how they exchange the data. So since 97, exactly in parallel, there was a guy holding the website. I worked with him, of course, and I created a software, because I find very strange that this guy works in a script doing all this catalog of IP and exchanging data. And I worked with computer science people to work on the software that should be behind. So everything in life has a history. So what happened to DNR in 97? We published IP listing on the web, as you know. So why do we became very listen to the publishing technology? Because very early, our first partner was Alcatel-Lucent. They wanted to have an IP catalog inside the firewall. And since 97, when we begin, they said you have to transfer the data through the firewall to Alcatel-Lucent. So when we created the catalog, we had in mind, we transferred the data through the firewall to the other company. And we agreed in 97, we were in a European project on XML, looking the XML tags so that people understand what they are looking at, and transporting the data. So we became what I think catalog publishing specialists. That means that we created a catalog generator with flexible format. This was the beginning of the story. So this is in purple. And I still think that was very good in the early step. One of the reasons was at that time people said there will be a standard. Stop everything. There is VSIA, there is VCX, there is blah, blah, blah. All the IP must be described by 15 fields, by 16 fields. And I say these people are crazy. When I get a description from Synopsys, I have transferred it to Alcatel-Lucent. Alcatel-Lucent want to see this set of fields. But when I send it to Ericsson, at that time, they want another set of fields. And when the guy said, sit with us with a committee, we need 10 fields and not 12, DNR learned to listen to the client. So we invented a catalog generation, a flexible format, importing and exporting. In 1999, the yellow, Cisco came to us and say, internal reuse does not work. I think it still does not work in company, but we have to work on internal reuse. So with this green light, for 60 years, we created a platform for storing and exchanging internal IP. So what happened is that we had to go in the heart. So when you publish in a catalog, you have XML metadata. But we had to go into the heart of the IP and point from the front end to the set of files. So what we learned with Cisco over year and year is from a front end to say, this version of IP I'm speaking about, and when you click, you see the IP, you see the directory, you see the packages, how we say. So with Cisco, we invented the deep look to the repository. Again, with XML tagging, you browse the IP from the front end. And progressively, you will see that you can enter to the design world. Now, you see, I could go to the pink one. Of course, there were people who want to sell IP. So the example I usually take is Dolphin. They have a portfolio, and they want immediately to see on the front end which IP version was delivered to which client. Okay, so they had a view. So we speak about view. You had catalog view, directory view. With these people, we learned about management view. That means when you click on an IP, I have to see at one glance what version have been frozen and to which client they went. We call this management panel. Management panel, you will see a dashboard that, where you see the details of the IP you need to have to manage. On the blue external IP, this was our maybe the most intensive partners. It was Ericsson and Alcatel-Lucent. They receive internal IP. And these people are responsible of the fact that we became really management platform for IP because the licensing came in. They say, of course, it's very nice you send us IP, but my engineer have to see this IP has been licensed, by whom can I use it, and so on. So we have to come up what we call license panel, and this came deeper and deeper. And today we manage for the whole Alcatel-Lucent corporate software licensing management. It is spreading, spreading, spreading. On the top left, you see the fabulous guys. So the Tabula guy, for instance, they use our IP management system. They helped us, they made us understand you have a platform and you have a list of IP. You want this IP, you call, and you can even make a license request to the external provider. He says yes, and then the IP goes in your design flow. So when you look at all of that, DNR did not create 6 tools. DNR didn't do service. DNR is a unique platform. So we have one IP management platform which has to fulfill all the features that I have just mentioned. So this platform is organized as follows. You have the file somewhere, but around you have these XML views, and around you have what I call a management panel, what I have to see for managing my IP. So today, of course, I could speak about many, many applications. I have selected this one. I want to speak about third-party IP management, just to cover some of the facets of this technology. So who is concerned by third-party IP management? Everybody today within electronic, everybody. So everybody is at least licensing one IP from somebody else, except if you are very small. But if you are very small, you have no money to manage yourself anyway for us. So everybody has external IP today. So we are interested in the following problem. You have somebody which we call the third-party IP manager. It's called the sourcing manager. So this guy is the heart of the system. It's the brain of the third party. So the guy is doing the IP selection. He works about contracting. He handles the business aspect, computes the royalty, the licensing fee, the NRE fee, the royalty fee, the payment scheduling. So this is the IP sourcing manager. And today we receive phone call from company telling us we don't succeed anymore. We have 10 IP suppliers. We have 20 IP for each of them. It's a nightmare. We cannot follow all of this IP. Last version came in. Have the royalty been paid, and so on. So there is a real problem because companies are not prepared to handle many third-party IP outside. So we are very interested by these people who are the third-party IP sourcing manager. Of course, I come from the technical world. So the sourcing manager works with the third-party technical manager. And I think we have been, we listen maybe too much to the engineering side because we come from the engineering side. So the technical manager, what does this guy? This guy says, yes, you have negotiated this IP, it's okay. He does the IP acceptance. He says, yes, the IP has come in. Yes, I have verified. I've done this and this and this. He verified the IP quality. He's connected with the design team. He received the bug, the issues, the complaints, the integration report from the design teams. And what he's responsible for is what people call the supplier governance. The good name has been given to me by somebody here. is responsible to follow up the quality of the supplier. So the challenge for us was to say to these people, the world is looking for unification. You will have one portal where the IP sourcing manager can look everything what happens, where the technical manager can contribute, he can bring in the IP, verify it, and all of that has to be made in a unified, integrated environment. So we want to have an IP-centric collaborative platform. All the clients we have use the same master technology. So there is one IP management platform, and all we say the actors, I am third-party IP manager, I am technical manager, I am. So these people have their function on this portal, and we must satisfy their need. What are objectives? Higher quality, higher productivity. We are absolutely surprised. Some people with whom I work, they have 10, 12 spreadsheets, 20 spreadsheets, 30 spreadsheets. They open one, they go to the other one, they compute the royalty, they look the quality. This is crazy. This still exists today. In 2013, there are managers who manage 10, 15, 20 Excel files, back and forth, make statistics, go back, compute the royalty, and so on. This is unbelievable. It is unbelievable, but it's like that. So we have said, we listen to everybody, the commercial, the technical, the financial, and we collect whatever they have to do. It will be one Java command you click on and you have what you want. So the platform is a collection of Java commands. They are grouped under roles. If you have this function, you have these commands, you have this view, but it's on the same platform. And of course, the IP, what you see, is dedicated to your role. You speak about XML views. When you want to solve an issue, you need innovation, for sure. So I think that we have 3 innovations. And by the way, tomorrow afternoon, I give a seminar with only practical client example, where you can see how it looks like. So I think we have made 3 innovations. The first one, as I said, was an IP product catalog, which is a flexible metadata viewer, which is very easy to generate catalog, modify, export catalog. Then we had to invent what I call a seamless connection to file. You know, people who make catalog for selling shoes, it's rather easy. But when you say this, I want to speak about this IP, this version of the IP, what do you mean exactly? You need a view. You need to say, okay, show me. Yes, this file, this file, this file. I understand what you speak about. The version 3 of the VHDL, the version 2, okay? So the fact that you dig in a directory view, it has to be invented from a front end. The third part that we like very much today are this concurrent management panel. That means all the data, what happens to this data, the bug, where it has been sold. All these views can be called from the platform and communicate to each other. If I go back to the catalog, of course, it's exactly 17 years that we speak to every conference saying, yes, you have an IP catalog generator, and it's very good. We have a format library. You create format, and you say, for this catalog, let me use this format, okay? We have a unique library. Once you have done that, it's perfect. You can search on any attribute, any XML attribute, of course. Very clever, you can change your format. You have a catalog, but this company wants to see your data, but with another format. You create another format, you click, and you change the view of the data. In one click, and you can send it to whom you want. So, map to a new format, bridge to a new format, okay. Different type of catalogs on your platform. Hierarchical view, IP embedded in, which is embedded in. Different view according to the roles. So how can I speak every year of this engine? Because this engine started 17 years ago with very, I would say, simple types. A field can be a text type, a field can be an image, a field can be a hyperlink, local file, parametric data. But over years, people are more demanding. We work with extra big company. So you see at the top, very, very quickly, you click on a link, you go to see, for instance, all this license of this IP or all the bug. So in the catalog, we have a type called link to. To create a format is easy. You say, I have this type, let me add this type, let me add this type. But the power of the tool of DNR is the increasing set of leaf type. Each client must have what he needs. So I give some example. Attributes is OK. Link to panel, back annotation from elsewhere, having an image. Process information have been normalized by DNR. You cannot say in production 4 and you scroll on the TSMC notes. The tool will force you to be standardized. This was a big work. Hierarchy, you say, I am embedded in this SOC, I am embedded in this product. Add-ons, this IP has an add-on with another IP. Where used, of course. IP maturity, IP location path. I am located in the region control, in clear case, I am the path name, which shows exactly where the top is located or where the file are located. If I say that you can create format, you can create catalog, but you are grouped into roles. So on the top right of the tool, when you enter the tool, you are, for instance, uploader or you are something else. Depending on the role, you see the comments. An intranet is always a bridge embedded in an intranet. So in this tool, you can say, I want to be connected to LDAP, to Active Directory, to whatever, to authenticate your user. Access right, of course. Nothing can happen in this tool when you enter without being authorized. You can be authorized to view, to write, to download an IP, to modify an IP, to look at the license. So you have permanent right or one-shot right. This is the administration role. There is also an administration envelope where people feel confident, because when you enter a big company, the first thing they do is a security check, okay? When they understand that you're very serious, connected to authentication system, it's okay. So when you are the catalog architect, you create the catalog and the lifecycle support. Uploader, a tool has to be we say massive import from existing data in database, from Excel file, of course, from whatever you wish. You click and becomes a catalog. It's import and export from any type of support and over the firewall. That means that we compact the data and send it through a port mail. This runs since 1997. Now I go directly to the panel around, because it's a little bit the same kind of scenario. And then I will see. The second invention is to really work on this concurrent XML IP-centric panels. So you have a catalog with an object, and then you have panels, okay? In a panel, you can look at it as intelligent dashboards. You have information about this IP. But this panel can get this data from elsewhere. So they synchronize with the external world. We'll see an example. You compute royalty, you have to know number of chips that have been sold. So there is 1B number of chips sold. And it's behind the tool, it's written, go to the database and look in this table for the file number. So we do plenty of bridging. Look at this tool like an octopus. You are here, and you have sensor everywhere. So the panel are especially made to capture for you all the sensitive data from the external world. This panel can also become workflow. When you make a download request, it stops until the approver comes in. So you can use also as a succession of events that are following a workflow. After that, in this dashboard, when we have now client, we have to replace, I would say, tens and tens of Excel sheets, spread management sheet. So the power of the column can be any function that you have in Excel, but more. We have also, we will see script algorithmic data. So when you create a panel around, I take a simple example. You want to have a bug panel. When you have an IP, you want to see if it has bug. So you go and you create a bug panel, and you take this field, whatever you want, okay? You create your field. But you have a type called bridge. I say, okay, I need a part number, but this is a bridge to this catalog. That means that this panel is connected to the IP database, and it knows that this part number is speaking about. So the bridging type is extremely important. So similarly to the catalog, the panel have types. The types are even richer. So you can, in a panel, trigger a mail, send mail, control workflow like spoken about. You can compute. You say, OK, for this field, I want the sum of these three other fields plus multiplied by. You can also have algorithmic computation in Python script. You will, with the client now, we have to compute the royalty, but if it's a 1 year, so the client can enter himself an algorithmic expression of the value of the other panels. So links, of course, process geometry, bridge to external DB, link to panel. So it's a very, very powerful toolbox. So I give an example. I've shown you a bug panel. Now in a catalog, you say back annotation bug panel in your catalog. When the guy clicks on it, he sees the panel related to the bug. Yes, there is a bug, blah, 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 sure, okay? But this panel itself could be in synchronization with something else. It happens that people say, oh, we would like what you have, but our bug database is already existing in Mantis. I say, no problem. We do a bridge. So you say this part number, this bug, but please take the information somewhere else. So the system of bridging is extremely powerful. Another example that we like even more is the Dolphin integration. In Dolphin integration, it's a very simple problem. They have a big portfolio of analog IP. Okay, what was their problem? Very simple. They made a catalog of product. Okay, they have 13 product family. When a guy comes to this catalog, he clicks here. He sees shelf delivery. Shelf delivery are all the IP versions that have been frozen for this IP. So you go to a panel listing all the shelf delivery. This is the revision 1.1. And if I click here, I see to which customer this version 1.3 has to be delivered with a lot of XML information. So now the whole company knows exactly what's available, what has been delivered, and what all the issues they have. So they are around the world, and the sales guy, thank God that they have met us, because now he knows that on this technology node I should take care, this one is running. It's just they go to the server, on the phone they can go, you know, they can go on the phone, they can see there, and they see to whom they have been delivered. So the view that I have not mentioned very deeply was the link to the design. You have a catalog, you have a lot of management panel, you have also to dig into the design. And what happens is that the people working in the design area are not the same working in the business area, so the two fields never meet. And we have taken the challenge that these people will meet. So the fundamental concept is how to look at the file. File does not interest neither Google nor I think SIP. Nobody's really interested in digging into files. We know that's all is engineering stuff. So you have to find something that helps people to manage an object with a file. Of course, in a company, when we work with them, we have always catalogs of SOC project, external IP under acceptance, internal IP under development. On the front end, they see IP catalog probably like that. They have to be able to access very quickly to know in which state this is and what happens. So DNR has added, in 97 already, a module called the packaging module connected to the central platform, which collects the files, or collects the view about the file that you can then view from the central platform. You can always view and browse, if authorized, from the platform. And if authorized, you can download. So this panel will collect the file. From this central platform, you can also call your design tool. I receive an IP, I want to run something. From the platform, I'll be able to call a tool. I can also, from the platform, I have an integration of a front end of a revision control system. I can perform checkout and check-in. You have to, from the platform, to do a lot of basic operation. So this is a picture. You have front end, and the guy is working somewhere. I don't know. What we usually ask today is SVN, ClearCase, Git. So from the platform, the same platform that the manager has, the guy can go down. I say, OK, I have to work here. He works privately. And at a given point, he'll be able to release something. So the front end to revision control are integrated in the platform. But you can have 2 or 3. The company with whom we work have at least Git, SVN, and another one. The deadlock is when you think that the world is restricted to the revision control system that you have chosen 5 years ago, and what? Then you acquire a company and they work with something else. The world cannot be stuck at choices. So this management tool is compatible with anything people use or will use in the future. So this is an example of a front end of what? Qu'est-ce que c'est ça, Gilles? C'est ClearCase? You know, we have front end from ClearCase, from Git, so I cannot recognize them. But from the top, he says, I want to see my IP, and he can still work on it. And when he has finished, the designer, he can say, he can filter his file and say save and export. Export it, it means he will zip it and put it on the server, and then the other one see it. But then there is no room for failure. If somebody who does that, automatically the front end will recognize the path. He will say, yes, he has given me this IP, he has this file, the path is this one, and it's on the server, I can take it. I call it a seamless connection, with my broken English maybe. That means that in no way you can have any issue after that where you are, what you have done. Okay, so I've shown you some detail of the technology. Now I want to tell you why a third-party IP manager should be happy about. Because we hear now demands for third-party IP manager everywhere in the world. Like Apple, they have not been prepared to have suddenly 4, 5, 6 IP providers. They don't know how to handle that. So I will first say why I should make that third-party IP manager happy. So the first IP manager for the platform can still plug in this private environment. He say, okay, he can still say, we have received such an IP, I'm making expertise on it. So he can declare on the catalog what he has received. He can say, okay, I have received the IP, you can give view right to whom you want. He can say, I have received an IP. So what will he do? He click on a button and automatically the file, decompressed, will show the directory and he will see it in the packaging station. He can still document what he has received. He sent me this VHDL, this test bench, and so on. We always archive, it's advised to archive the native directory. Now he goes back to this front end, he saved derive an IP. He saved derived IP. I work on this IP, it means. So an IP can be declared without the content being visible. So what will he do with IP? He does what he wants, of course. Usually he does verification. He say, okay, I will run the test bench again, I will. From the platform, he can call his tool, or he can do it privately, but he can store the results. So the platform will offer him a diary. I have done this and this and this. So he does what he wants. If it's a hard IP, probably he will create a wrapper. When you have a hard IP, you create the wrapper. So he works and will prepare the file. So normally he follows the corporate verification standard. So it's very good for him because the tool will be able to archive what he has done. You have verification profile after that. You can have wrapping profile. So the guy will do a certain number of operations. And when ready, on the platform, he will be ready to freeze. I say, okay, it's okay for me. I've done this wrapper. I added this. I have verified. He will freeze. He will filter. I mean, if filter, it means, of course, he will not give to the company the intermediate file. He will give the definitive file, and we transfer to the server. The server is equipped with a SVN revision control system. He can say, put it under revision control. More security is always better than less, so he will put under revision control this external IP. And then, of course, it will be published. Everybody's alert. The XML view will be available, and the people allowed can make download requests. And then it can be integrated in SOC. So we have somebody in the room who told me he's on the booth. He's a designer for 30 years, and he thinks that it was very good for him to receive the IP. Some of them have to be wrapped. The memory from Altera is the wizard. Some of them have to verify. So he takes the file, he works on it, and then he freezes, and it's go. So you have to realize that we are not intrusive. Whatever you do, it's okay for us. We just put you a place to report, to remember, to store, and to deliver. So you can interview him for knowing more about technical management. And it helps to do the supplier governance, of course. When you have a system like that, you can introduce IP ratings. This tool is equipped for any kind of rating. You know, we didn't put the VSIR rating, thanks to God, but you have a customizable rating. So people use it for everything. So you can make a questionnaire for your provider. You can rate your provider. You can measure the delay. You can. Some companies are very severe and want to put a supplier governance in place. This is perfect for us. It's just a panel of supplier quality. What we appreciated maybe the most the last year was extremely intensive. It's the management aspect. We are not so, made a little bit, but suddenly it's coming very, very strongly. The demand is absolutely huge because people can connect it very easily. So what have we to do? First of all, very big attention in the IP tracing, okay? Big company have immediately to see on the screen, you are here, they have the external IP, but you have immediately to have what we call, we have a IP tracing panel, and this tracing is said, this IP from this provider is in this SOC and is this product. This is mandatory. So you have always the IP tracing panel. So each IP has I would say a narrow view. It says, I am embedded in this SOC, okay? But when you want the full IP tracing, you click here, and automatically it shows up. But take care, it shows which IP version is in each SOC version and each product version. The first thing we did to the guy, if you don't version correctly, you are dead. I don't know how to compute your royalty. So you have the tracing per version, per SOC, per product. Then the license panel. For us, it's just the license. We created the format. The format, not two companies have asked us the same format. That's very important, but it takes 5 minutes. I say take this, they tick. So you have license type, license name, agreement description, blah, 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 blah. Attention, this is for this IP in this SOC and this product. So you're extremely precise, and this is bridge too. You find them in both ways. And then which NRE, which payment, which license fee, which. And then for maintenance, now we have been asked to do a separate panel. For royalty, we have a separate panel. So panels are bridged. I can click here and tell me about the royalty. The royalty, I think we liked it. So when we were really, it's a very big company. I say it's not a secret. It was Apple. We have to make a library of templates. Very easy. In fact, we say, what kind of royalty have you? People have a long list. So royalty based on lifetime, royalty based on yearly rate, royalty based on annual capacity. It does not matter for us. You put here the parameter for computing your royalty, and you have something called function. In function, we write Python script. We write for them, or they write it. They just say it, if the shipment is bigger than, then apply this and this and this. It takes, I don't know, 10 minutes. Usually we help to express how they want to compute the royalty. So we have called it the royalty template. When something is complex, create a library. So now when we have to compute a royalty, it looks like that. This IP, there are dummy data, of course. This IP version, this product version, this product, current number of shipment comes from an external DB. The royalty template is this one. You click on that, you see the royalty template, the value have been entered, and automatically the royalty shows up. So this is a way to make the royalty calculation. This is simple. So once the people have defined the royalty template and make all the input to the data, the tool automatically computes. Now, in fact, after that, what else do they want to see? Because we follow. Whatever people ask us, we do. We show them how to do, and the next client is open. So the payment schedule. Now I can click, show me all the payment for this agreement. It shows up. So with this panel, you can always filter. It's XML filtering. And what's nice that you can immediately see, show me the calendar. So the people are like this. So this tool, as it is organized, you see all the payment. Of course, the payments are made with alert. Of course, the type date in our tool is a date with alert or with no alert, 30 times before which mail. So this is always the richness of the type. And when you do that, automatically you click on calendar, and of course the guy sees all the alert he will get and all the payment to be done. So in one, it's called global report because of the corporation. It shows all the payment for all the licensing. In fact, this is a very simple example. With Alcatel-Lucent, we handle all the tools, mechanical, middleware, EDA. They have 70 machines. They have never seen something more complex. So what I show you is very simple compared to what they have. They replace, the goal is to forbid everybody in the company to use a spreadsheet anymore. Because when the guy goes, they don't know what the spreadsheet is. It's a mess. Progressively, they clean and clean and clean and clean. So they spend 50 million for the software licenses. It has to be increased already by 10%. and they centralize all the data. It's only panel and connecting panel, view per machine, view per, and these panels are connected, for instance, to license monitoring. It doesn't mean that we do the tool. They can evaluate for instance, how much the license is used, but it will be a report to the platform, and they take decision. The platform makes decision. So I think what it does is very, very clear. Using individually managed spreadsheets was very limited and time intensive. So a guy could handle all the EDA tool, he becomes half crazy, and the other one had to handle the mechanical, the other one had to handle the middleware and IBM stuff. It's just not completely abnormal. Now they have a platform with all the report, how much a business unit spends, how much, and they take decisions. This license should be shared. So they have linked all the tools, all the server, all the user group, all the finance function, everything on the platform. And it's rather easy. One guy does the connection. So what he says, the only data that makes sense is integrated data. So what's so special in IP management? I think managing design is not very funny for the world. So no people are really interested. I don't think that Excel spreadsheet or Google, somebody will really look at that problem. It's too tiny, too tiring. So in IP management, it's full integrated data needed, from IP to SOC to embedded. But you have to understand IP file, IP delivery, IP version, IP revision control. That's too much for a guy who has no time. Never the big company, IT company, will look in detail. It's just boring for them. So you need to follow exactly the life cycle. Of course, Excel, SAP are completely old-fashioned tools. They will never make it. They cannot evaluate. So people can leave it, but they manage themselves as in the last century. So all Excel-like features have to be, we say when we do the service contract, any Excel feature you have, and we have not, we make it immediately. It's very simple. So we think that you need an innovative feature. It takes 70 years, and we collect year after year. This is a reuse story. We listen to Alcatel, to Ericsson, to Taboola, to Dolphin, to Apple, to. What do you want? Usually they want variation, so it's very happy, but we put it in a box and we give it to the other one. It's a knowledge accumulation and to reuse the sharing among community members. So why do I think that companies should outsource? Of course, no IT company wants to do such a monster, because why would they do it? ASIC is a niche, and they won't do it. They won't concentrate on taking a file and selling a version. Companies have a core business. They have enough time to find the wonderful FD, SOE stuff. They have plenty of tools to manage. We don't replace any tool. So when you speak to an IT, he says, my God, I don't listen to you. I have already to manage a synopsis. And they have so many things to manage that this management panel is for the manager. So these people have so many things to handle that they cannot concentrate. So we think IPMS is something on the top to understand all the views from design and business. And it's pushing by the client. We just do what people want. And we create the management flows based on people who have very long experience. When I listen to the guy who computes royalty for 10 years, I learn a lot. And when I listen to, I don't know, to Taboola who wants to integrate something in their flow, they are the specialists, but we make things easy. Okay, I discount the price for the next sales. But we think that this will be the standard. I am convinced. The more and more I hear, it's so easy for people to, it's installed automatically. It's extremely tiny. A management tool like that, you put it on any laptop, and it allows people to communicate. I can export an IP to another one. I can manage. It's as tiny as could be Excel, but it's extremely intelligent. Thank you.